Is that a spider? Jesus Christ, he's huge. We'll just leave him for now. Hey, how's it going everybody? Everyday Zach. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna be reviewing some flashlights from Cabela's. But first, coffee. What would I do without that beautiful liquid? Definitely not have a brain, because I've already figured out what I'm doing. All right, so I've been talking about this for a little while now, and I know I've keep saying I want to do some reviews on some tactical gear or some everyday carry gear. One of those is flashlights. Now, the thing for me is I'm kind of a flashlight whore. I love flashlights, as you can see from here. Here's just 3 different styles of flashlights I have. These are more comparable to, I'd say, this one here. This is the Streamlight Protac HL-X. It's a 1,000 lumen flashlight, and it's a tactical flashlight. They're fairly the same size, at least, as the 1,200 Cabela's one. The 1,500 Cabela's one is just a tad bit bigger, but for 1,500 lumens, it's 500 more lumens than your Protac. And then obviously we have the big brother to this one here, quite literally. These are the exact same model line, except for this is a Protac HL-5X, which is 5 times the size of this one here. It also takes, or it's also 3,000 lumens, where this is 1,000 lumens. At the end of the video, I'll have a little bonus clip, and I'll have that time stamp down below to show this one in the nighttime, as well as this one here. This one here, I want to talk about this one a little bit. This is a very special flashlight. The reason I say this is a very special flashlight, because most of you probably will have never seen something like this before. I know it probably just looks like your regular flashlight, or looks like something from the advertisements on Temu, where it's like, oh, watch how bright this will go. Look, it's the sun. These flashlights are LED flashlights. They're light emitting diodes. Everyone has them. They come in everything. Even technically your phone camera is a light emitting diode. This is an LEP. That's LEP flashlight. What does LEP stand for? Laser excited phosphorus. Not even joking on that. How cool is that? Avoid direct icon exposure. With this one here, this is a Weltool W4 Dragon in the clouds. I'll have a video or a clip of this as well at the end. This thing is insane, so make sure you stick around and watch the end of this video, because this thing is nuts. Now, a light emitting diode and a laser excited phosphorus, there's really very different reasons why you get both. Like, there's no reason really for anyone to have a laser excited phosphorus flashlight, just because of what it's used for. These are mainly used for search and rescue. And you'll understand at the end, I'm not going to shine this inside because it is a class 3B laser. And I'll show you on here when I pull you guys in closer. But it is actually considered a class 3B laser product that can blind you very, very easily. Anyways, we're going to put this aside for now with both of these. And we're going to talk about these guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull you guys closer, and we're going to take a top-down look at these and open these up and see how they go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move the 1,500 watt out of the way for now, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the one that is more comparable to the 1,000 lumen Protac HL-X. I will point the camera up towards the wall, and we'll do a little bit of comparison of the brightness as well as the circular profile to see if it's more of a spot or if it's more of a flood. Take a look. But a little bit about this, it does say that it is, if it'll focus, a tactical flashlight here. It is rechargeable, 1,200 lumens. It is a CTL 1200R. 1200 stands for lumens. Let's see, brightness. It is 1,200 lumens in the high, 500 in the medium, 100 in the low, and strobe is 1,200 lumens as well. Runtime, it says 2.5 hours in high, 4.5 hours in medium, and 25 hours in low. The distance for the throw on this is up to 330 yards. Drop rating for 2 meters. It is IP67 waterproof. The battery is a 2,600 milliamp hour. It is an 18650 battery. That's cool. So inside we get a little charging cable, a little USB to USB-C charging cable, and a wrist strap here to put onto it. I never use these things because I just think they're kind of useless. And we get some pretty okay packaging here. I think I'm going to put this up just a little bit more. Some pretty good packaging, and inside we do get a little pamphlet, I guess, on the flashlight. Just looks like some instructions on how to charge it, switch operations, and just the common little tidbits of what the flashlight does. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put these aside. Bye-bye. And right off the bat, the one thing I do like is these aren't that telescoping where you can kind of pull it out and focus the point a little bit more, have it a flood, and twist it to have the flood as well. I know there's some that do that as well. I really don't like those styles. I think for a tactical flashlight, it's just really kind of useless. So having this just one focal point is really nice. Back screws off. Does have a Cabela's 2600 milliamp hour 18650 battery. Looks like it is a 3.6 volts 9.36 watt hour battery, which is nice. That's almost really comparable to the Streamlights. I think Streamlights is 3.9 or 3.7 volts with 9.7 watt hours, and we can actually take a look at that right now. So I got one in here. Let's see. 3.7 volts with 9.62. So it is a little bit different, a little bit higher wattage and voltage on the Streamlights. I'm not 100% sure what the maximum wattage and voltage is for this light inside that they could take. I'm not sure if adding Streamlights in there is going to cause any problems. The tactical bezel on the front does have a tactical bezel. Almost looks like it could screw off. I bet with enough force we could screw that off. Tactical bezels are one thing, but I don't ever plan on hitting somebody with the front of my flashlight. That's just gonna, I never really understood that. Maybe that's just a me thing. So go ahead and put that back in there. I do like the fact that this battery as well has the USB charging on it as well, USB-C, so that's really nice. And then the tail cap here looks like it has a half press momentary as well as a full press. The clip is metal, which is super nice. Also, what I'm noticing here, which I think is really cool, yeah, so they have it in where that clip is actually sandwiched between these two parts. So I don't think you'll be able to pull that out without having your cap up a bit. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Has a little groove that allows it to go in, sit in place correctly. And then the cap does come down over it to keep that in place. I really like that design. That's cool. Now we'll go ahead and point the camera up and we'll take a look at the first. All right, it does have a nice spread to it. It doesn't look like it's a spot. Definitely looks like it's more, it's going to end up being a spread. We'll go ahead and test the Streamlight as well. I am on low. Let me 10 tap this real quick. So Streamlight has a feature where if you tap the button on and off 10 times and then hold it on the 10th one, it changes. So right now I have it in just high mode. So no matter how many times I press a button, it's always going to just give me high. Where when you tap it 10 times, it'll give you high and low, so you can tap it once for low, twice for high. The third one will give you 3, it'll give you high, strobe, and low. I prefer just high. I like to have it on max lumens all the time. I don't want to accidentally double tap it twice, have a strobe, and then have to release and go back to the high mode. As for this one here, tap it once. If we tap it twice, it does strobe, half tap. It does not look like it gives me a low mode. So I think with how we do this is we have to click it on and then half press. Yep, medium and low. So that's actually quite nice. I do like that it allows you to go through the settings while having it on. I don't believe, yeah. So Streamlights will not do that. but they do have their own 10 tap, so that is nice. You see that right there, it says 10 tap. As for the difference in the lighting, the Cabela's looks like it has a wider hue to it. Now, I will admit, I've had this Streamlight for, I'd say, over 5 years. It could be that the diode's just getting old and worn out, but there is definitely a color difference in that hue. The Cabela's definitely looks like it has a tighter circle to it just by a little bit, and you can see that there, hopefully, maybe. I'm gonna do this actually. I'm gonna put it on low and put this one on low. Maybe we can see just a little difference there. You see how that right one is just a little bit smaller, and the right is gonna be that Cabela's. Has a better focal point, I'd say, within the flashlight compared to the Streamlight. As for an overall spread, it definitely looks like they're pretty comparable when it comes to the light emitted for like a flood on the bottom here, as you can see right here, this line. They definitely look like they're pretty comparable to the same, the light that it gets off. You can definitely tell that 200 lumens is a bit brighter. It is 200 lumens more, so we have to keep that into accountability. I do not have a Streamlight that is the same as the 1200 lumen here, so 1000 lumens is going to have to be good. Streamlight's very expensive. This one costed me $100 just for this flashlight. These are about $49 right now on Cabela's website. So for $49, half of what this one costs, I would say it's very good. It definitely feels really good quality. I don't feel like this is just gonna break on me if I drop it. So I do like that. It does feel just a tad bit heavier, and obviously it should be because it is just a little bit bigger. Though the Streamlight's head is a little bit thicker, there's still probably more material here. And I got my scale just to double check. So if we aim this down just a little bit more, looks like Streamlight's gonna be right at that 171 grams, and the Cabela is gonna be at 188 grams. So just a little bit more. All right, let's go ahead and pull out the 1500 lumen one now. Comes with the same USB Type-C as well as the wrist strap. Go ahead and put those aside. And this one is definitely chunkier. We'll just get the weight out of the way here. And the weight of this one is 226 grams comparative to the 188. So quite a bit heavier, but obviously for 1500 lumens, as well as look how chunky that front end is. And it's way longer. So yeah, quite a bit of extra material in there, which makes me wonder if this is going to be more of a spot. I'm kind of curious to know if this is going to be more of a spot or if this is going to be more of a flood. Usually with something a little bit larger like this one here, if they have like a spot or a flood feature, it'll have some sort of interesting lens like this to it, but it doesn't, so let's figure that out now. And it does, I will say as well, it does look like it has the same feature on this ETL 1500R as the 1200R. It does have that where you have to pull the cap back a little bit to pull the clip off. It is made of metal as well. Identical back button. I think it's actually the exact same one. Yep. Well, yeah, exact same one, exact same size. Does have the Cabela's 2600, 18650 in there as well. Same 3.6 volt, 9.36 watts. All right, and light comparison again between the Streamlight HL-X and now the 1500 watt. Oh yeah, way different. Holy cow, that is bright. And I am noticing, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but do you see how small that circle is there? It's definitely more of a focal point. It's definitely more of a spot, it looks like, comparative to a flood. We'll be able to test that more when we go out tonight and take a look at it, but it does have, in person, it does have a lot more of a circular spot to it than a flood. It still has really great throw around the outside for a flood, so that is quite nice. And again, it has the medium-low half tap as well, which is super nice. All in all, I really do like this one so far. Out of the two, I think I really do like. I mean, I like both of them for two different reasons. I like the brightness of this one and how it does kind of look like it has that that spot comparative to a flood. I know that's probably not showing too much. Definitely has that spot. Oops. Yeah, you can see there, it's definitely more of a spot. Comparative to of that flood. Kind of like that a bit. But the real test is going to be tonight when we take a look outside. So with a little bit of video magic, we're going to go ahead and head outside, and we'll take a look at these two as well as with this one. And then at the end of the video, I will show you this as well as this. I don't want to spoil this one, so watch to the end. All right, we're outside now in an area where I think it'll be best to kind of see the, I guess, the brightness of these lights. I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. I do have my Bronco here, which has this really cool feature on the mirrors. It's called zone lighting, and it turns on these lights on the mirrors. So I'm using that right now, so you'll hear my Bronco in the back, but here in a second I'm going to turn it off. That way we can see the brightness of these lights. Since you probably won't be able to see what I'm going to be doing, the first I'm going to do is I'm going to put on screen as well, but it's going to be the Streamlight Protac HL-X, and then I'll be doing the 1200 watt Cabela's one, and then from there I'll do the 1500 lumen one. I'll walk you through it as well, but that's how we're going to do it. Let me get this turned off real quick and we'll go. So straight ahead of me is just, it's a hill, and I'd say it's probably to the top of the hill, probably 200 yards or so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the 1000 lumen Protac HL-X from Streamlight. You can see it gives pretty good spread, as well as somewhat lights up the hill. I am standing right behind the camera. Here's the flashlight here. So not too horribly bad. Does almost exactly what you need it to. If there is anything out there, we could probably get somewhat eyes on it. Up at the top of the hill, probably not too much, but right on the other side where that tree is, I'd say it's, I don't know, I'm terrible at yardage, so I'm not even going to pretend like I know. Next is the 1200 lumen. There is quite a difference. To be completely honest, I feel like the hill is lit up quite a bit more. If I sound kind of shaky, it's because it is freezing out here. It's probably like 25 degrees. I'm cold. Anyways, yeah, so quite a bit of difference, as you can see here. Has a lot more, I feel like it is about the same amount of spread on the ground there. But it definitely feels like it shoots a lot more light, has a lot more light than the 1000 lumen one. Obviously with 200 more lumens, definitely makes sense. But it still has that pretty wide angle. It doesn't really seem like it's a spot. Definitely has a wider one with the Cabelas. Now the 1500 lumen versus the Protac HL-X. Here's the HL-X again. And now the 1500 lumen. Oh yeah, way different. Oh wow. Yep, that is miles better. And like I was saying before, I definitely noticed there was more of a spot when it comes to the 1500 lumen one than there was with the other two. But yeah, that is just miles different. It still has about the same spread on the bottom there, as you can see, the bottom of the screen. It's about the same spread, but it's a lot brighter too. And you have that almost spotlight feature to it while giving a good spread. I quite like that. Quite like that a lot. As you can see, we can see up to the top of the hill there. We can make out things fairly well. If we see the power pole, let me see if I can zoom in here. what I'm gonna do is that power pole's there. We can see it, but with this one, we can really make it out. And then if we look at the 1200 lumen Cabelas and the 1500 lumen, here's the 1200, again with that spread. It's got a really nice spread to it. And then that 1500 just has a really good spot with the spread as well. I do like that 1500. As for light right in front of us here, if we were to need to use one for searching for something on the ground, I probably would prefer the 1200 lumen one, just because it has a little bit more spread comparative to have that beam, that real spotlight feature to it. It's a little bright. You could turn it down, which would be fine, which they have the tap feature to turn them down, which I do really like that, instead of having to tap it at the beginning, like the Streamlight, you just turn it on, click it, and then tap, tap, which is a lot nicer. All three of these batteries have been fully charged, so they are at their max brightness. And I'll turn us around here, and we'll be able to see the city a little bit more. But what I'll do to kind of an open field, how this will look. The first one we're going to do again is the Protac HL-X. See down the way there, fairly good. Again, with the 10 tap, it doesn't allow you to change the settings. With having it on, at first it is low, and then you have to double tap it to get it to brightness. And then of course the next one would be the strobe. But with the feature on the Cabela is it's really nice. You can just click it on and then just half tap it to go down to medium and then low. So if we were just walking through the woods or whatnot on a trail and we just got caught out in the darkness, we just underestimated the sunset, we could have this on low quite easily. It is nice to be able to just tap, go right back to brightness if we needed to, and then tap it down to low. And again, this is going to be the 1500 lumen. We can see a lot farther down there is going to be a lot better for us. So that spotlight feature comparative to the more flood of the 1200 lumen and the HL, I really do like. I'm gonna have to say my favorite one out of all of them is the 1500 lumen one. I do like the brightness of it. I do like the throw distance as well as the spread. It's a really nice spread, and being able to tap that down to have a low setting, a medium and low setting is incredibly nice. So you guys, that's Cabela's lights. With the two, I mean, I really do like the button on them. I think it's really good. I guess we could, being it's barely any more wattage, I will take, and I just thought about this, I'll take the battery for Streamlight because it is a little bit more by 0.1 watt. And we'll just throw that into the 1500 because we know what the 1500 is, right? We like the 1500. All right, we got the 1500 with the Streamlight in here, with the Streamlight battery. Honestly, I see like zero difference in it at all. But yeah, I see zero difference in this at all. I don't think that 0.1 of a watt is really going to make a big difference. So yeah, Cabela's, and they are the CTL 1500R and the 1200R. That's not it. Yep, 1200R. So the CTL 1200, 1500R. I'll leave links down below for, to get them from Cabela's. And yeah, I like them pretty good. If you guys found this video informational, go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button for me and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what other flashlights you guys would like me to try. I'll come out and do these more for you and give you my opinion about them. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, so we're back again, and as my light turns off on my Bronco, I kind of wanted to bring a kind of a bonus clip to you guys. I've got my Protac HL-X or HL-5X. So this is the one that is quite a bit bigger than the Protac just HL. But I also got something really cool here, and this is going to be my LEP flashlight. This is the one I was talking about in the video, my laser excited phosphorus. This flashlight, when I first bought it about 5 years ago, it was about $800. I know that's probably like crazy to think $800 for a flashlight, but I'm going to show you why. So we're going to turn this around here, and we're going to wait for this car to come by. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show, I have the CTL 1500R. This is the 1500 lumen flashlight that I like, the one that has that good spot to it. It's a little foggy out here, so we're going to see a little bit of that fog. So this is going to be the Streamlight HL-5X. So this is the big one. And as you can see, why I say this is my migraine headlight, this thing is bright. Incredibly bright. 3,000 lumens is what it says. I believe it for what it is, quite bright. Now this flashlight here, this is called the Weltool W4 Dragon in the clouds. Now this is classified as a class 3B laser, so you have to be really careful. This can blind quite easily, so you definitely have to be careful. This is a flashlight that is specifically designed for search and rescue. Now you'll understand why I say that here in a moment. This gives off barely any spread. So like most of your flashlights that have, even though it's basically, there is a nice spot to it, you see all this around here. I want you to pay attention to this, okay? Because this flashlight's gonna be way different. All right, ready? Yeah, you see how there's zero spread underneath here? It is just a beam. This is why it's called the Dragon in the Clouds. It is quite literally meant just for search and rescue. We can literally point this up. Look at that. Look how crazy that is. So if we shine it, where is that power pole? There's a power pole. And you can't even see, so it's such a fine, like, spotlight. It doesn't, there's no shining, there's no ability to have it any spread. This is purely for search and rescue. What are the applications of this? I'm not 100% sure. Not sure why you would need it, but it's cool. Like, I've got literally a giant lightsaber. I mean, all right, well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bonus clip at the end, and I'll see you guys later.